Neon colors, bad CGI, and a soundtrack that screams Mountain Dew commercial. On this episode of Moving Panels, we discuss Generation X.
Welcome to Moving Panels, ignite the mic. From Gotham's alleys to galaxy's far, we dive in deep, we set the bar. Debates and takes, we bring the heat. Pull up a chair, join a seat. Moving Panels, where fandom takes flight. We review, discuss, and shed the light. Heroes, villains, every epic night. This is your show, your fandom's might.
Welcome to Moving Panels, the podcast where we discuss movies and TV shows based on, inspired by, and adapted from the world of comic books. I'm your host, Laramie Wells, and joining me today in the co-host chair is proof that not all heroes wear capes. Some wear ugly Christmas sweaters. From Totally Rad Christmas, it's Jerry D. How are you, Jerry?
I'm wonderful. I mean, it's true. I do have quite a bit of ugly Christmas sweaters, so yeah, I can't complain. I'm great, man. How are you doing?
I am good. It's really weird to say that after watching this movie, but yeah, I'm good. I'm excited. We're on the stretch. You know, I've got you here as we're on the stretch towards Christmas.
Yes,
we're into November. So excited here, but I don't know what made me pick this movie. But
you probably
here
saw
we are.
Like a clip of it somewhere and was like, I want to torture myself for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is let's get into it and then I'll talk about this.
Okay.
So we are talking about Generation X,
right.
The TV movie / pilot,
yeah,
that aired on Fox February 20th of 1996. You already kind of told me this, but tell everybody else, Jerry, where were you on February 20th, 1996?
I was watching Generation X because
Yes.
I was a huge X-Men fan. I read all the X books. I collected them from like 1990 through about 2000. And so when they announced this was going to happen, I was like, I'm there. I loved Chamber. He was my favorite. Sync was really cool too. Husk. I got none of those three. But
Yeah.
but I was excited. I was like, yeah, this is like an X-Men-esque movie. Maybe we'll actually get the X-Men later on or one or two here and there. And so, yeah, I was all in on Generation X, and I was super disappointed watching it.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know this, so again, this is 1996, which means this is pre-Blade. This is of course, X-Men, which would be 2000, 4 years later. The only like live action comic book things that had existed before this that were mainstream like this were the Incredible Hulk series, the Wonder Woman series. There was the short-lived Flash a few years earlier.
Oh, I liked that one too.
CBS. Yeah. But yeah, here we are. We're getting essentially, you know, the 90s was the decade of X-Men. I mean, and on Fox. This is the network that aired the animated series.
Right. So
yeah.
I had huge expectations, probably unfairly,
we all did.
But yeah, they were crushed.
Let me give you a picture here. This movie is directed by Jack Shoulder, who, what else has he directed? Well, he's directed Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. You know, the one that doesn't fit. He also directed Wishmaster 2.
If it had been the first, if you had stopped there, I would have been okay. That's not terrible, but no.
No. I didn't recognize anything else on his filmography. Those were the only two.
Same.
Yeah,
I was looking through it like, okay. Yeah. Poor guy.
But yeah, Fox definitely was riding the wave of the X-Men animated series being such a huge hit. They gave this movie, and for 1996, for a television movie, $4 million.
That's insane.
Is apparently the budget, which is huge.
Like literally just a few years earlier, that was like the budget for most motion pictures, you know, that.
Yeah.
So, but it was also written by Eric Blakeney, who did like great groundbreaking episodes of 21 Jump Street. Like his episodes are some of the most revered out of that whole series. and that deals with teens, and we got this. So
Yeah, you would think maybe he could do do teens. So and no, he couldn't.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, I think. Well, here's the thing though. This is live action.
Yeah.
We're getting the X-Men and that's how Fox was really pushing it. You know, you're gonna get live action comic book superheroes.
well, and I think they even showed not Husk, the other blonde girl, in like her costume. That was like the
Buff. Yeah.
Buff. Yeah, yeah. They would show Buff in
Yes.
her costume as like the teaser for it. Like, oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
get these comic accurate costumes. Well,
Yeah. In fact, so to let anybody know this, so it aired on Fox. It maybe aired one other time, and then it was never to be heard from again. There has never been any official like release of this on DVD. I do own a bootleg copy of it.
I love it.
Yeah, which I will say this, I'm pretty sure somebody got a hold of something somewhere because my bootleg copy of it, they dropped some F-bombs in the movie.
That was the British version. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what it is then. That I'm watching the British version. But to let you know, you can find this entire movie on YouTube.
Right.
Probably several different postings of it because Fox just does not care that it is out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they George Lucased it for a bit, right? And they just never showed it again.
Yeah.
And then after a while, they're like, you know what? It's not important enough.
Yeah. Because you don't even have to find it under a special name. Just type in Generation X movie.
Movie. Yep.
That's
there.
it. That's it. It's there. You got it. But what you're saying about the suit, I mean, that's the thumbnail of some of the YouTube videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Is
that
of
was
Buff standing there in the red suit.
that
Yeah.
was like the highlight. It was like, oh, this is a live action X-Men-esque film, maybe leading to a greater X-Men universe. And then it was panned and it did so terribly that it was like, all right, let's go back to the drawing board. And
Yeah.
I'm glad they did because there were some great choices and then some not so great choices, but they were all still, I think I'd still even watch X3 over this, which is which is something. the last stand.
All right. What about Dark Phoenix? Would you watch Dark Phoenix?
Oh,
over this?
That's a tougher choice. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I will say one of the best things though to come out of this is and we'll get into this in a minute, even though it's not supposed to be the Xavier Institute or the Xavier School for the Gifted.
Right.
It is. And the actual building that they use, the Hatley Castle in British Columbia, is the one they would later use in the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, it's supposed to be the Massachusetts Academy or whatever
Yeah.
it's called, so it's like a whole other state away. But
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like the continuity.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say.
it's just funny. It's funny that they make it the actual Xavier School, and yet there's no Charles Xavier. There's no there are what 6 kids in this entire school.
This whole like mega
Yeah.
mansion. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
partially hoping for like that Deadpool scene where they're all just kind of hiding in a room. I was hoping
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd get something
just to
like
see
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Just
no,
some random bald man in a wheelchair just goes by.
That's
And
all
at
we
least,
needed.
hey,
Yeah.
there you go. At least we know they're there.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Now, I just like to throw this out as a Superman fan. This is also the same building, castle, whatever you want to say, that was used as Lex's mansion in Smallville.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yep. I've always, and I think, I could be wrong, I think they also used it as the Queen Mansion in Arrow.
That is true. I knew that one. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
did. And it makes sense. I mean, it's just a really cool looking, stately manor. So, why not use it for everything? It looks expensive,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to Hatley.
Why not? All right, let's go ahead and because I know that Jerry wants to get into the actual comic book itself, so let's jump into the comic book connections.
Step into the panels, heroes just for your satisfaction. Feel the thrill and join a collection. It's the comic book connection.
The Generation X movie comes from the Marvel comic created by Scott Lobdell and Chris Bachalo back in 1994. It was a spinoff of the X-Men following Teenage Mutants training at the Massachusetts Academy under Emma Frost and Banshee. The team, Jubilee, Husk, M, Sync, Chamber, and Skin, dealt with the usual mutant problems, learning their powers, surviving school, and figuring out who they were in a world that feared them. It was edgy, weird, and very 90s, full of flannel, angst, and attitude. The TV movie kept the school and a couple of familiar names, but swapped out most of the team for characters that were, let's say, budget-friendly.
That's the best way to describe it for sure.
There you go. So I know I did read some Generation X comics, probably not as many as you. So what was your connection with the comic itself?
So I remember when the comic was coming out as well, because that was also one that was like really hyped, and really anything in X title in the 90s, especially the early mid 90s, was super hyped. So we had the reboot, X-Men #1 in 1991, along with Uncanny X-Men #281, where we had the blue and the gold team. And from there, the New Mutants kind of spun off into X-Force. And so I was reading all this. And then they were like, well, what about other New Mutant-like teams? Yeah. And so they created this. And I remember the comic because the cover was that, and I don't even know what it's called. It's almost holographic, but not holographic. Yeah. It was like that cool.
Those are the exact ones I own.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just.
Yeah, it's that mirror type.
Yeah.
Foil.
Quasi-metallic. Yeah. Like a foil gold leaf. I don't know, whatever. But it was really cool. Started reading immediately, and I was always a fan of Bacalo. I know he had done a couple of Iron Man things before. That was like what kind of got him the job at Marvel. If you ever go back and look at some of his early work, so I was into it. Scott Lobdell, of course, had written a couple of other great things. So I was like, all right, let's get into it. And the cover was so striking with Chamber and like his whole, like half of his face and chest blown out and just this cool energy, like how does he live, whatever, and then Sync, who could copy other mutants' powers, but it was shown as like this really interesting prismatic rainbow effect, and it was just really interesting. So I read the comics for quite a while, really almost until the very end. I think band, like High School Marching Band, kind of cut me back on a few of them. But yeah, so Banshee was one of my favorite characters. I always loved when he was included in the X-Men lineup. He was very short-lived. He would come in and out sometimes. So I loved Banshee, and I thought it was really interesting that they were turning the White Queen, Emma Frost, into a hero and teacher now. So, she had taught the Hellions, of course, before, but now she's like teaching good mutants or what, she's a good guy. So I thought that was kind of an interesting twist too.
Which I also like. You just brought up the Hellions. I like that they subtly throw that into this movie.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. And comic accurate too.
Right.
Like about how like they all died. Like yeah.
Yeah. Don't quit your day job, Emma.
But... No. But people who are not familiar with the comic had to have been so confused because it was right about this time that they had introduced or had shown Emma Frost in the animated series, and she was clearly like a villain.
Right. She was still part of the Hellfire Club. She was still the White Queen. So yeah, I mean, she helps with the whole Phoenix saga and all that as well in the animated series. So yeah, if you weren't a comic reader, you'd be like, Emma Frost, that sounds isn't she bad? But yeah, I mean, I thought the whole idea I thought was really cool. It's like, okay, again, let's take this New Mutants and this next generation of X-Men, and let's kind of train them up as well. And then they ported Jubilee out to this. She was quasi on the blue team for a while, and which always kind of irritated me. I was like, the girl has like done some serious battles, and now you expect her to go be at like the school? Like, come on. come on.
Yeah.
You know?
But she was the kid.
She was the kid.
teenager.
Right.
So
Right.
she was. It was kind of like doing Teen Titans, and you had to have Robin. You had to have that recognizable
Right.
character, which is fitting because you talked about stuff that Scott Lobdell had written.
Right.
He wrote Teen
He wrote
Titans
Teen
over
That's
at,
right.
at DC as well. So
And I mean,
yeah,
she is kind of like a Robin analog if you think about it. You know, she's tags along with Wolverine. You know, she's like his sidekick sometimes. So she is, and she's got the yellow coat. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a little bit of Robin in her design, I think. And so, but they brought her over to this, and she was like our gateway character, and then Banshee and Emma Frost. I gotta say, I know that the voice actor, I don't remember his name, the played or the actor that played Banshee. I know he did the voice for Banshee on the animated series. if I
animated
recall.
series. Yeah. Jeremy Ratchford.
That's what it is. Yeah, but
yeah.
for some reason, it just sounds a little different coming from his.
It does.
It's like it's the same voice. I went back and looked it up, but it just sounds different when
It does.
coming from this face.
Yeah, there's got to be something with that when they did the animated series, like they filtered his voice through something,
Right.
or
Right.
something just sounds, and it sounds. I didn't actually look up like if is he actually Irish? I didn't even look that up.
I think he is. Yeah, yeah, I believe he really is Irish.
So I mean, so that works, but it definitely sounded weird.
Or maybe not. Looks like he was born in Canada. I mean, not
Okay,
that
well then that
doesn't mean you're not Irish, but
doesn't mean you're not Irish, but it could explain why his Irish accent sounded a little off.
yeah. For sure, for sure. So yeah, the comics were cool. A lot of backstory and stuff that we get as it progressed, and we just, of course, couldn't quite fit all that here. I imagine if they picked it up as a show, we probably would have gotten into like Monet and her siblings and that whole thing with Emplate and all that. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but we got this. This is what we got.
that's right.
Ah,
Same thing. Emplate was another like major villain from the beginning, and like they didn't go with Emplate at all. They went with
no. They
Tresh.
went with Max Headroom. Yeah. they let.
I mean, when I
they
think
went
X-Men
with
villains, I think Max Headroom.
yeah. So yeah, Russell Tresh, this completely made up character,
Right.
played by Matt Frewer, who apparently had just finished doing a Jim Carrey marathon.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's straight up Jim Carrey in living color, just like turned up a
Oh
notch.
yeah, it's Jim Carrey, The Mask, because that
Mask.
would have been been
around
The
that
Mask
time,
would have
yeah.
been out. This was right before I think Batman Forever came out around the same time.
Yeah, it was like 96.
So I don't know.
97-ish. Or,
Yeah, so I don't know if
Maybe it was
he
95
had seen.
actually.
I don't know, but still, even if it was 95, you got to think they were filming this because this came out in February of 96.
Right, so they were filming in 95.
So he probably didn't see Jim Carrey as the Riddler, but yet there's a lot of similarity here.
Oh, big time. Like there are bite marks in the film from where he is chewing the scenery. I mean, that's how bad. He's just making a meal out of every scene.
But almost even the whole, like, his contraption and everything is almost exactly the same. Like, it is so weird.
Yeah.
How
It's like they took a little bit of Doc Brown from Back to the Future and mixed it with the Riddler, and we kind of got this here. And the whole machine and everything.
Yeah, and I have nothing against Matt Frewer. I think he is a great comedic actor. But yeah, he is chewing scenery.
It's almost
in this
like
movie.
it's almost like he just kept pushing until they were like would pull him back.
Yeah.
Like, well, let me just go bigger and see what happens. And then they never pulled him back.
No.
So yeah.
No. And then on complete other end, we've got Emma Frost, played by Finola Hughes, who many might know her from her Emmy Award-winning role on General Hospital, many years on General Hospital. Or you might know her as from her Golden Raspberry nominated role in Staying Alive, the sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
I think I knew her from Blossom, honestly. I think it was Blossom.
Yep,
that I
she was on
remember
Blossom as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we didn't. My mom didn't watch General Hospital. She was in All My Children. mom. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but yeah, I mean, I recognized her from Blossom, and I was like, oh, okay, and
Yeah.
she
Even
was.
underneath that bad blonde wig.
Oh, they should have just dyed her hair. Just dye your hair. It's not the, you know what? Don't even dye your hair. Keep it brown. You'll be fine. Just
Yeah.
acting. But I thought she was a serviceable Emma Frost.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
You can still tell this is early, like figuring out how to do superheroes on in live action,
right.
because the way that she would have to perform to look like she's doing her mental,
Right.
it was so cheesy. And now that I'm talking about that, I got to bring this up. What were your thoughts on Agent Hootie and Blowfish?
Oh man, that was the best line of the whole thing. I was like, this is definitely in the 90s.
Is there no 90s better part than we are Agent Hootie and Agent Blowfish?
They were really trying to reach out to the kids, right? I mean, that's like, I mean, it doesn't get
And then
more pandering than
Yeah.
that.
And then I love that they then, in order to show how she's manipulating him, she holds up a postcard, which was apparently sitting on the counter at the police station, I guess.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
And then they have where you're seeing what she's making the cop see, which is the two of them in Spirit Halloween
Very much so.
costumes with ironed on letters that say MEA.
it's it's totally like the cop costume we have at home, right? It's not
Yeah.
the team you it's Wish.com's
It
cop
was-
costume. It was bad.
There you go. Yeah. And speaking of costumes, let's get into all of the rest of them and their
Okay.
100% 90s garb.
If you don't know what era it's in, just look at the kids
Yes.
and you will know.
There you go.
But like the
I
whole
mean,
color palette is like right. It's like that weird kind of neon, but more like
Yes.
glowy, like a glow
Yes.
neon. You know?
Yeah, it's like you're in a room and there's just a random green light in the background.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
why
like
is there?
very
Yeah.
rave. And shadows everywhere. Shadows, but like this green, like lime green lights just peeking through. It was strange, man. It's like
It would. If
budget
this had
was definitely
if this had
something.
been picked up as a series, I don't know if it's a show that I could stand watching.
I mean, for sure. I was 16. I was into just about anything, and I remember not liking it. So yeah, I think you're right. Would have been
Yeah,
rough.
I mean, yeah, not just
And yet you and I
the
both would have been
wardrobe.
compelled to like watch it, right? Even if we didn't
Oh
like
yeah,
it,
no,
we
I
would
still would have watched it.
Right.
I still would have watched it.
Right.
I would have watched each episode just going,
Maybe it'll get better next
maybe
one.
maybe next week, yeah.
That's right.
Maybe next week it'll be better. Okay. So let's get into characters. So
Okay.
let's just start off. We talked about the fact that Jubilee came over. Were you surprised when they show her on screen and you go, she's not Asian?
I was. I very much was. I was like, I thought she was Chinese American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This woman's about as white can be.
They also called her Juby a lot.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah, it was again, and there was a lot of like sleeveless, like crop
Or those
top
little
kind-
mini sleeves.
or the teeny tiny.
yeah,
Yeah, I
the
don't know what they're
teeny
called.
tiny sleeves.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called either, but she had a lot of those shirts.
Yep.
And the hairstyle, very 90s
Yep.
hairstyle with just the random like little clip in her hair that she would have.
And I get why they made her like one of the main characters. That makes sense to me because she's probably the one that everybody knows from the cartoon. Like
Yeah.
play her up for sure.
But in the cartoon, she is Chinese American.
She sure is. She sure is. And
So
that's
once
that's what I was
again,
like, what? I
people-
don't get that. Yeah.
This woman, yeah, Heather McComb, who played her, is from New Jersey. In fact, I did
She's
not know
married to
this.
James Vanderbeek, isn't she?
She used to be married to James
Oh,
Vanderbeek.
did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They got divorced in 2010. I found that out.
Oh, okay.
They were married for about 7 years. But yeah, which I did not know until I was looking up the information. But yeah, she used to be married to James Vanderbeek. But yeah, let's get let's just whitewash the character of Jubilee. You know, it's not like the X-Men are all about the importance of minorities and
that's not a theme that runs through
that's not a theme that
central
runs
theme
through
of their comics
at all. No,
that's fine. You'll like just darken the room, put a neon green light in the background, you won't even tell.
You know what'll make up
terrible.
for it. You know what'll make up for it. Have the character Skin, and anyone related to Skin be so stereotypical Hispanic.
Yes. There's a part where he's talking. He says something about being crazy, and he's like, yeah, muy loco. I was like,
yeah,
man, nobody everybody speaks Spanglish, but not like that.
Oh no, he says it about Tresh at one point too. He just says he says something about maybe that loco guy could help me.
Yeah, it's. I was like, come on, man. I'm from the Rio Grande Valley where we're like 98% Hispanic. Like, we all are half, like Mexican American. We all speak English and Spanish, but like, we don't do it like that.
No.
There's a whole way to do it, and it's not like that, man.
And then that guy at the beginning, was it his brother? I don't even remember. That is talking to him before he leaves, and he is just so but he's clearly a not really that Hispanic actor trying
Right.
to be Hispanic.
Yo, there's a lot of like esse and that kind of, all that like real pachuco kind of cholo kind of vibe. It's yeah. So they have that, but they didn't have the Chinese American.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you can't have a Chinese American as the lead character.
God
You
forbid.
can't do that. Yeah. And then now, since we're talking about Skin, of course they can't make Skin look like he does in the comics.
Right.
That's too. That would cost too much, and it would probably look goofy in '96.
True.
But the other problem is stretchy Skin never looks good.
True. Even in this latest Fantastic Four, which I really enjoyed, it still looks weird.
It never looks good.
Also, his skin is stretchy, not necessarily all the other parts of him. So
yes, which is apparently why he's always in pain when he stretches, except for at the end of this movie.
Right.
That doesn't seem to bother him at all. But yeah, that was the other thing when they introduce him and they have to show his power, and his sister is just holding on to him, but she looks like she's definitely doing it on purpose.
Right. At first I thought, oh, she doesn't want him to go. She's holding, and then I was like, wait, no. Her that's not what you do, girl. Her face was telling me otherwise. Yeah.
But I don't know who's driving him, but that dude doesn't care at all. He just keeps driving.
Hey man,
he doesn't.
We're dads. You got to make good time.
Yeah, don't care that he's screaming out in pain and agony. I'm gonna keep driving.
Once you're on the road, you're making good time. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like his whole thing, he's got like 6 pounds of extra skin, which definitely does look gross. And in the comics, he can do things with it, but not necessarily stretch his arm. Just stretch the skin on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, how do you explain that? Like, and how do you do that in 1996? So, I mean, we got Mr. Fantastic, and that's fine.
Yeah. Then next on my list is probably the easiest of the mutant abilities, and that's that of M, or Monet St. Croix. I won't say all of her name.
Right.
But I just love I also love how every single one of them has to explain their powers in great detail to each other.
Right.
So that the audience knows. But she definitely has to explain her power, because otherwise you would never know what her power
what it is at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
so easiest character for the special effects department. They went great. All of her power is internal There's nothing we have to actually display.
When they're doing the checklist, they're like, Monet. Oh, check. All right.
Yeah. Super intelligent. Yeah, that's easy to display.
Super strength, we can get that done.
Super strength, we can do that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Put one of those punching bags. She'll blow it up or something. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right, write that down. Yeah, so her power officially is she's perfect, right?
Yes.
So super intelligent, super strength, speed. She's immune to disease and things like that. She does have some flight abilities and some low-level psionic capabilities as well. Yeah, she's just like the perfect woman. And then, but really, we find out later in the comics, she's actually two sisters pretending to be her, which is a whole other thing. But I'm glad they didn't go that route in this. So.
Yeah. Well, again, they may have later, but
right.
We'll never know. Thank God we'll never know. Which actually, you just maybe go back to Skin. What did you think about them giving Skin like a little bit of psychic ability?
Well, I want to say that is kind of a thing where a lot of the X-Men, and it could just be because they've trained with Professor X, but I know a lot of the X-Men do have some low-level psionic capabilities, like they can resist certain attacks and psychic attacks like that. Some of them are more natural than others. But I think that could just be, if I recall, and my memory's not serving me here, but that because they trained with Professor X. So,
yes, but these characters have never met Professor X.
Exactly. Cool, I guess. I mean, that's like the whole premise of the show, right? Was that mutants have like this special access to dreaming or this dream dimension.
Yeah.
And so, well, how do we do that? Well, maybe they're all kind of psychic? ?
Yeah. And they do that weird scene where Emma is trying to get them to guess, and but that scene makes it look like it is only Skin and Jubilee, because Mondo looks like he is training as hard as he can, and he's not picking up on anything.
Well, she does have like a throwaway line that it's easier for the younger students. It's like just this one little line that she kind of spits out. So that kind of, I guess they're the younger ones out of all of them. But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting choice, and I think it's just because they needed a way to explain
the story. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what were your thoughts? Speaking, and we go from Skin to Mondo, talking again about completely changing the look of the character,
right.
But understandably, what did you think about Mondo? Which I will say, played by Bumper Robinson, who I immediately recognized from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, for sure.
You probably, and then there's probably like so many other things. Like you look at his, pretty much, if there was a TV show in the 90s, he appeared in an episode of it.
Right.
That's pretty much what his IMDb page.
He's one of those guys you see him, you're like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, I've seen that guy in something.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, what did you think about his instead of actually turning into the thing he's absorbing?
Right.
He just holds it, stares at it, some weird music plays, and
it's like, I don't know, really, really cheap absorbing man, right? I mean, the thing about Mondo is that, like, especially in the comics, like he could absorb these elements, and so like often you would see him like with bark and leaves and like really or stone, like really detailed kind of drawings. And I think, again, just budgetary reasons, they just kind of went with that. But, I mean, I guess.
You would have liked something.
Yeah. Even if it was just like a momentary rockness that we saw on him,
Yeah, like maybe just flutters down him so you at least know now he's got the power of stone or whatever. Because I don't mind the fact that none of them have physical mutations, because then that allows them to kind of have those interactions like they do in the carnival.
Right.
Although it made it really weird that one dude picking on them. It was like, what do you know about this?
You definitely couldn't do that today.
Oh, no. There's a lot in this movie you couldn't do today.
For sure.
I mean, the Skin and Tresh's meeting and what he's allowing him to do in the dream world.
What happens in the dream world stays in the dream world.
That is a thin line right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say while I was watching that like that happening, I want to say Bethany walked by. She just saw that and she went, "Well, I don't like that," and then just kept walking.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been cool to see more of it for sure.
All right, we'll be right back.
What's up, dudes? I'm Jerry D of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, books, fashion, and fads.
If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, he's got it covered. Wait, is there a lot of things to talk about for the 80s and Christmas?
Well, you got the movie giants like Christmas Vacation, Scrooged, and A Christmas Story. There are TV specials like Muppet Family Christmas, Claymation Christmas Celebration, and a Garfield Christmas special.
Plus classics shown every year.
You also jam out to Last Christmas, Do They Know It's Christmas, and Christmas in Hollis. But most of all, it was a time for the most bodacious, best-selling Christmas toys ever, like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers,
And Cabbage Patch Kids.
yes, them too. We cover them all, plus much more, including standard segments like Hap Hap Happiest Memory, Gagging with the Spoon, The Other Half of the Battle,
And Chant with the Littles.
So tune in to Totally Rad Christmas everywhere you get your podcasts. Turn the clock back and dive into those warm and fuzzy memories.
Later, dudes.
And we're back live. Let the show continue.
And then even though you've got a character like Mondo, who pretty much can be super strong, and you got M, who can be super strong, they decided, you know what, that's not enough. Let's make a completely new character named Buff, and we'll make her super strong. We'll also do some of the worst editing ever when we'll have her take her shirt off, cut to some muscular person in a blonde wig and a bra,
It was...
and then immediately cut back to her and not think about the fact that we can still see her back and arms in the reflection of the mirror of this skinny little white girl.
They're like, there's no... We don't have any more time. We got to air this thing in February. Come on, just let it go. It's fine. Yeah, there was a lot of missed little details in there.
And then what'd you think about, since you brought this up earlier, what'd you think about Timu Cyclops?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like this guy, man. Okay, Cyclops is like my all-time favorite X-Man. This was like, why? This, again, the guy with his glasses on and he doesn't want to take his glasses off. And then he finally, it's like, all right, that's enough of this. We could have had a whole, if you're inventing characters and powers, you could have invented just about anything that was still budget friendly. And instead they went with this, which, it kind of pissed me off a little bit. So it's like, come on. And then they try to make him like the cool guy too, as well.
Yeah, they tried to give him an entire character arc inside of this movie.
Right.
And it was just, it felt so forced.
Yeah, it really did.
So yeah, yeah. And it was so weird.
And he had a thing for Buff. And
yes. Even though the weird, I don't even want to talk about it, but the weird thing happens between them while they're at the carnival.
Oh yeah, when they're like making out and
yeah. And then apparently all of a sudden he finally has X-ray vision, even though he's been lying about it the entire movie.
Right.
And then the way he reacts, it's just, it's so cringe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, not cool, dude. Not cool.
Yeah, watching this, it feels like you're watching, I mean, honestly, both movie-wise and just in reality, it's like this movie exists in a whole different universe.
Right.
Where, comic book movies existed, but yet didn't exist yet. Studios didn't know how to make them. And it's so weird to watch this movie now that we have, 20 going on almost 30 years of quality superhero movies.
Oh, I mean, for sure. Like, so, you think about, they'd been successful with the Batman franchise, and yes, The Flash was just one season, but I really enjoyed it. And,
I enjoyed it, yeah.
But then it was, and they've done they had Superman with Lois and Clark. They had Superboy in the 80s. I mean, they've done TV shows. Like, someone just forgot. It was like, well, we're the 90s. We got to be edgier or something. Yeah. I don't know. It was weird. And I mean, I get it. looking at you, Adam X. You know, there were edgy characters all over the place.
Yeah.
This guy has like 5 million blades on him. But yeah, it was so weird. You're right. It's like they just forgot how to do film.
Yeah, and then the movie itself, it's trying to mix, and I get that they were trying to set up a show, but they're trying to mix, the teenage drama that we would get out of, shows like 90210, shows from the
Right,
90s,
right.
Party of Five, and they tried to mix that with sci-fi, but also a little bit with horror because
Right.
it actually had, yeah, and it never really commits to any of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like a little bit of Saved by the Bell, a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street.
When he goes to visit the girl in her dreams.
Yeah.
I was like, stalk her much? How do you know where she lives?
And even at the end when they're battling Tretch and they're in that room and like the fire blazes up and all, I'm like, well, that I definitely have seen that in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Right.
You can definitely tell this director directed a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
That's right. He's like, what did we do that one time? Oh yeah, let's put that in.
Yeah. So did you feel that this movie knew what kind of story it wanted to tell? Or was it just throwing mutant powers and dream logic and teen angst at the wall and just saw what stuck?
I mean, there is a plot, kind of. It's not a very good plot, so it did kind of know what it wanted, at least the story it wanted to tell. I think it was all the rest that it just went astray. So it's like the characters were way over here, and then just all the visual effects were way over there, and it never quite meshed.
No.
That's kind of how I feel.
What were your thoughts? I know this was kind of a 90s thing, but we talked about the color palettes and all that.
Right.
But the canted Dutch angles, whatever name you want to name,
right.
Whatever name you want to put on. I don't mind when they're used in moments. Like Sam Raimi, I think, has mastered the Dutch angle. I loved even when it made an appearance in Spider-Man 2. Like I love a use of the Dutch angle. This movie uses the Dutch angle just for a conversation.
You gotta spice up that conversation, No, I know what you mean. The cinematography was all over the place as well. There's areas where you're like, did they color correct? Because something looks funny here. And then some of that also I couldn't tell if it was just the transfer.
Yeah, the bad transfer.
Right, right. But there definitely were like, I have a feeling they thought they were like so cool doing this. They're like, man, this movie's gonna rock, just as they're filming.
And I will say it does give it a little bit of a retro charm. Like it's very 90s.
Agreed.
But it's overuse or misuse, you could even say. It makes it hard to take some of the emotional beats and it's hard to take some of it seriously.
Right. No, I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it feels more like you're watching a music video from, on MTV.
Yes. Yes. This was like a Spice Girls video,
All right. So, we've talked about the comic. And so in the comic, just like a lot of X-Men, they're trying to focus, it focuses on a certain theme. And Generation X, of course, was about teenagers finding themselves,
right.
Finding their identity, trying to control their powers, feeling like outcasts.
Being okay with them, yeah.
Yeah. The movie, though, feels like it swaps the subtlety for more of slapstick. And, of course, it's got all that dream logic nonsense.
It could have been much more streamlined, right? Like they could have really.
It loses some of that depth that the comic was so good at.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that was just because it's like, an hour and a half movie and not like a series.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this had gotten picked up, they probably could have done more, but I think they were just trying to cram it all in to make it something that could get picked up. And nowadays, I mean, you do your pilot or whatever, and it's usually you're not all in like you were back then. And so I wonder how much of it was that and how much of it was just the person not really understanding the characters or just the nuance of it all.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I didn't see anything that said this, but I'm sure if you dig deep enough, you'd probably find out that the director Jack Schilder probably never read a Generation X comic or had even heard of who Generation X was until he was given this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, because we talked about how much we love the '90s Flash, but if you go back and watch the '90s Flash did have some of these elements.
Yeah.
It had the '90s coloration. It I think used canted angles from time to time, but I don't think it overused. I also like that the Flash animated series, even though it was very '90s, it also took a lot of inspiration from Tim Burton's Batman by somewhat making it you didn't quite know what time and era they were in. Because even though there was technology and computers and all that, there was also people driving around in, Studebakers and
like 40s,
yeah. People wearing suits that looked like they were straight out of the 20s, and I think maybe this show could have benefited from that. Is maybe made it feel not as 90s as it is. I don't know. It's clunky. It has that campiness. But I think there was potential to it. I just think that, like you said, maybe if they had more time, if they had fleshed it out as a series, or as I had also read that instead of a series, it was maybe looking at doing like just a series of TV movies.
That could have been cool too.
Yeah, maybe if they had more money, they got into it, the more successful. Maybe if they did less dream sequences.
The dream thing was just a weird plot overall.
It was
So they're already using like subliminal messages and like this dream machine thing to get people.
Which I love. The subliminal message is just Matt Frewer's face on the video screen
because she's playing. Oh yeah, they was it Virtua Fighter? Is that what they're? No, which one was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I was distracted by the fact that there was an X-Men video
I saw that
cabinet behind him.
Like, wow. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why not? But it was like the worst effects. But like if he's already doing that and already making money, like just go with that. There's no need to delve further into that, man. I mean, I get it. It's the whole thing was that this guy wants to get himself powers, really, by experimenting on mutants, because apparently they can access the dream dimension easily.
So what was his inspiration? Because he starts off being like the character Arcade,
right?
And then he turns into what, Nightmare, or
yeah, kind of
like yeah. Like, it was so weird as to what exactly was his character supposed to be. And then, of course, the way they end it, it's like he's going to be the main villain for this series.
Right.
That he would return.
Right.
So, yeah, it's weird as to what their idea was there. But you were bringing up, I didn't think about this until you were talking about that scene. Of course, that's when Jubilee's powers start going crazy.
Yeah.
How ineffective are Jubilee's powers in this movie?
They're terrible. I mean, at least though, because she's introduced the exact same way as the animated series, right?
Yes.
So it's like, at least in the animated series, she melts something as she's doing it, right? The joystick melts and some of the buttons. This.
Nothing.
I mean, come on! It's just a light show.
We've got some fire, which are clearly like superimposed over the film.
Yeah,
it's that old classics special effect.
Yep.
But even later in the movie, when she uses the powers against Tresh just looks like he was just annoyed by it. Yeah. Like it would had no effect on him whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean,
so bad.
I get it. Ooh, you make fireworks. Well, you know what? Fireworks are dangerous. Like
they can be. Yeah.
Like that's explosions. Like, come on, guys. There's gunpowder involved, but no.
People lose hands, but
right.
No, It's just an annoying power. All right, let's get into it. We
I know. I'm sorry.
let's just go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm making
Bag
this
it, stack it.
2
Yeah,
hours
no, you're
long.
good. Bag it, stack it, or trade it. Let's give our final decision. So, Jerry, what say you? Generation X, 1996.
Trade it. Can I? Is dump it one? Can I dump it?
Can I just? I want to burn every copy. Like,
No, I mean there's things that I do like about it. The fact that we see, I do like Banshee, even though he's ridiculous. I like, again, even though she's ridiculous as well. I like Jubilee. Matt Frewer is crazy over the top, doing like Jim Carrey impression, but I'm kind of into it. But overall, there's just that's not enough to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, no, you almost my sentiment exactly here in my notes. I said trade it. Like you said, it's got flashes of fun.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, there is some genuine nostalgia, but overall, this is a relic from a time when they did not know how to handle a comic book story. It's, well, I was about to say it's not terrible. No, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's painfully bad.
That's right.
But I will say I think that it should though exist as a curiosity.
Yeah, agreed. It's like the Doctor Strange TV movie.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the same thing. You know, I think if they had a bigger budget, and I know 4 million was a lot, but if they had like a larger budget, real like studio visual effects, you know, like if sent it to ILM, and if they had used Chamber and Husk and Penance even, I think it, and a real villain, I think it could have been something cool and great. But they couldn't quite pull it off.
I want to get into this though. So Fox did not give up though on doing an X-Men television show.
Right, because what was it, Mutant X?
There was Mutant X,
right,
just a few years after. I remember watching a few episodes of Mutant X. I don't really remember a lot about it.
Right,
but I know
Lex Luthor. Yeah,
it lasted a few seasons.
It did.
So it was fair. What I do remember though was in 2017, which is my recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to see what probably a version of Generation X done right, if you never saw this on Fox, it ran for 2 seasons in 2017, 2018. The Gifted.
Oh, I never watched it. I don't remember why. There was a reason why. Oh, I remember why, because I was selling insurance at the time, and I barely had any time for anything. Yeah. But yes, I've heard great things about it.
Yes, because it was the same idea. It was young mutants who were on the run, but also having to deal with the fear of being a mutant.
Right.
They had family issues. They were dealing with their own identity, and it supposedly existed in the world of the X-Men.
Right.
And it of the movies, I should say, the X-Men movies. But it had a story that was grounded,
right,
not as campy or over the top. It really focused on the emotion and the tension. Didn't really focus on any type of camp. It had a strong cast. It had great writing, but yet still had those nods to the comic that would make comic book fans. Because you had the Stepford Cuckoos.
Oh wow!
You had Polaris, Blink were all
that's awesome
in the show. Yeah. So again, The Gifted proved that you can tell a teen mutant story that had depth and still kept it exciting. I mean, it did only last 2 seasons, so it wasn't a huge hit. But
I wonder how much of that is like the writing of the time, because like you see writing progress to like a more naturalistic, same thing with like performances, actors' performances, especially in the 80s, and especially if they were watching 90210, where everything was melodramatic. And so it wasn't as naturalistic as it could be. And so I wonder how much of that is just because of that influence and
just the evolution
of acting and writing.
Yeah. Especially across TV. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there you got it. You got any last thoughts, or maybe your recommendation yourself of something that they should go out and see or read? Maybe you just want to.
I mean, yeah, if you want to just dive into the comic, it's good. I really loved when they had that whole Phalanx Covenant, or Phalanx, however you want to pronounce it. And I remember there was a good portion of it with involving Sync and Banshee, and I mean it was really cool. These characters that you get to see and learn. Sync later became a big player on Cyclops' X-Men after the Krakoan era. So just recently, and so he's a mutant that can copy other mutants' powers. So that's kind of cool. But I get why you wouldn't put him in here, because you already have super strength and super strength. And Mondo kind of has super strength if you think about it, because he can take on these properties. So what else would you copy? Fireworks, so stretchy skin. So, in this kind of instance, it just really didn't make sense to have him. But there's a lot of really cool characters that I would put in here. It also reminds me of in X-Men 2099 comic. I don't know if you remember that one. They did the X-Nation storyline. And there was also like a young team of kind of like these Generation X that then the X-Men of 2099 mentored later on. So if you want to check those out, I'd definitely check those out and kind of see how some of the stuff could be done well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. It almost feels like Hollywood just in general has a hard time doing young superheroes.
Did you like Runaways?
So I started watching it and I just never could get into it.
I watched the first season,
and it was the same thing with Cloak and Dagger too.
Yeah,
like I couldn't get into it. So that's what I'm saying. Like they have a hard time with young superhero story, because even we've covered this one on the show before, but the New Mutants movie,
yeah,
they took one of the greatest stories in comics and just butchered it.
The Demon Bear saga.
Yeah. So
yeah, and part of that, I think they're trying to. The problem is all these great storylines have occurred after like so many issues. So you already know characters. You don't have to be introduced to them. You know how they would react in certain situations and certain things like that. Their personality quirks. And in the movie, like the New Mutants, you have to, you're just thrown in with all these characters. So they always have to introduce in a movie like this, like your gateway character or like the audience surrogate to help you get to know all these others. So in this movie, it was Jubilee, right? New Mutants, it was kind of like Rain, really, if you think about it. Wolfsbane. And so
yeah,
she was like a big part of it. Not Rain. What's her name? Danielle, right? Moonstar.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't.
Honestly, I watched that movie the one time I watched it for this show, and I have not watched it.
Same. I watched it once. I was like, all right, I did it. So you always have to have like that surrogate to kind of help you learn about everything and everybody, and it just seemed this time, they just chose either the wrong person or they just went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's sad though. I just realized I have seen Generation X 3 times. I saw it when it aired, because I was just like you.
Yeah.
I watched it the night it aired.
Yeah.
And then I watched it when I bought my bootleg copy of it, and then I watched it now for the 3rd time in preparation for this.
Yeah.
So,
before this I'd watched it a few years ago. And it's same. It was a bootleg. It wasn't mine. I was at a friend's house. He was like, "Hey, remember this?" We put it on. I was like, "Oof." Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying though. This is one of those like, if someone hasn't seen it, you kind of, but they're a comic book fan, you're kind of like, oh, you gotta see it.
Yeah,
you gotta see it.
That's right.
It's not a classic. It's a curiosity.
Yeah,
that's what I like saying.
You just have to check it off your list. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let me give you my last lines here. So Generation X may not have been the X-Men story that we were hoping for, but I think, as I said, it deserves a small place in comic book history. It's one of the first real attempts to bring Marvel's mutants to live action, and this, of course, was 4 years before the X-Men hit theaters, and of course changed everything. Yes, it's
Right.
awkward. It's campy. It's clearly a product of its time, but you can see the spark in what it was trying to do. The comics gave us rich characters and wild imagination. The movie gave us a glimpse of what was possible. Sometimes, even when the execution doesn't land, the ambition is worth the memory. So, thank you, Jerry, for joining me on this. This was a fun one to talk about.
It sure was. Thanks for having me, man.
So now that we're into the beginning of November, I'm sure you're starting to hit your stride. So what you got coming up on Totally Rad Christmas?
Yeah, so we just had Christmas Podcast Day on November 1st. So that was like our big kickoff to the season. I have Christmas Coloring Books episode, Weird Al, which was a super fun one to talk about. Airwolf, believe it or not, has a tiniest little snippet of Christmas, so I counted it. And
there was a stocking hanging up in the background, so it counts.
It counts, man. I'm running out of things. No, I actually have quite a lot that
I'm sure.
Yeah. Family Ties. Let's see, we're doing a couple of watch-alongs as well, so that'll be fun. And then I got a couple of Thanksgiving things to throw in there also. So yeah, exciting. Oh, and the Mickey Mouse Club. I don't remember if you remember the all-new Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, exciting things.
MMC, absolutely.
That's right.
All right. Well, I definitely check him out. Again, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can find Totally Rad Christmas. Same place that you find us here with Moving Panels. But thank you, Jerry, once again for joining me. It was a blast.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
And thanks everybody for listening. Rate and review the show. And as always, for today from Moving Panels, I'm Laramie Wells, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
You know I don't like Jell-O.
I forgot about that.